Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, पुलका शरीरा हरि हरि बोलते न याने बापे मीरा गौरांगा बोलते हवे पुलका शरीरा हरि हरि कबे निकाई चांदी कोरोना हईबे संसार बसाना मोरा कबे तू चाहबे आर कबे निकाई चांदी कोरोना हईबे रघुनाथ पदे होई बेयकूती कबे हम भूजाबो से जुगला रूपा रघुनाथ पदे होई बेयकूती कबे हम कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गिरधर शिव सदि गौरा भक्त श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गिरधर शिव सदि गौरा भक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Radhe Radhe प्रभुपाद की जय और प्रेमानंद
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Vihare Jaya Rupi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanajare Yamuna Tira Vanajare Ayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare 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 Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Stottra Sadasri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kodi Vaishnav Vrindi Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sakoshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasidi Gaura Bhakta Vrindi Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Hare Krishna. Again, on behalf of all of us, I would like to thank Mother Srimati and her family for opening the doors and the hearts of all the devotees today to get together again during this holy month of Kartik. We get the opportunity to associate with all the Vaishnavas, which is one of the requirements during the month of Kartik. Actually, not only during the month of Kartik, but at all times. And especially during this month, holy month of Damodar. And as most of you know, several devotees go to holy dhams during this month of Kartik, to Vrindavan, to Mayapur, to Jagannath Puri. It's very, very difficult to get even an accommodation in Vrindavan at this time of the year, especially in MVT, where devotees usually try to get accommodation. There are many, many resplendent pastimes, as you know, has taken place during this holy month of Kartik. We had Bahulashtami, then we had Gopashtami last Sunday, Damodar Leela, Govardhan Leela. Several wonderful pastimes have taken place in the last 5,000 years. But there were many, many other wonderful pastimes that took place many thousands of years before that as well, because these pastimes, like Ambarish Maharaj's pastime, that took place during the month of Kartik. Dhruva Maharaj's pastime took place during the month of Kartik, as well as two of the avatars of the Lord appeared during the month of Kartik as well. Matsya Avatar as well as Kurma Avatar appeared during the month of Kartik. So in the last few weeks, since the start of the month of Damodar, all of us have heard many wonderful pastimes from Krishna Leela. And there were also many wonderful appearances of exalted devotees that took place during this month of Damodar, and many disappearance days also took place during this month of Damodar. Last Wednesday was the disappearance day of ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And also was the disappearance of Srinivas Acharya, and also was the appearance of Nimbarka Acharya, and also was the disappearance of one of the greatest in our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Narottam Das Thakur. So today, with your kind permission, we will hear a drop in the ocean of the glorious pastimes of one of the greatest acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him and to all the members of the Guru Parampara. Vanchakalpatirubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees, fulfilling the desires of everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. Again, Narottam Das Thakur is acharyas in our Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. All of us are associated with Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas which are all bona fide, and one of the Vaishnava Sampradaya is Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and so is Shri Sampradaya, and then we have Rudra Sampradaya, and we also have Kumara Sampradaya. Those are the 4 Sampradayas that Prabhupada has explained in detail as to what are the 4 Sampradayas, Vaishnava Sampradayas that are bona fide, and one that we are associated as devotees of ISKCON is Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And this Sampradaya originates from Lord Krishna, and then from Lord Krishna it comes to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma got the knowledge from Lord Krishna, and from Lord Brahma Narada Muni, and from Narada Muni Vyasadev, and then Madhvacharya. So the 5th Acharya in our Parampara system is Madhvacharya, and we are from this Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And then it comes all the way down. There are 32 bona fide Vaishnava Acharyas, and then it comes all the way down from the 5th Acharya to the 20th Acharya, and that is Madhavendra Puri, who was the spiritual master of the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So we have Madhavendra Puri, then Ishvara Puri, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Then it goes on, Rupa Goswami, then we have Raghunath Das Goswami, then we have other acharyas continuing in the line, and then Narottam Das Thakur is the 26th acharya in this parampara system. And then after Narottam Das Thakur, we get Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and then Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and goes on like that, Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj, and then Srila Prabhupada himself. And according to, there are wonderful books in the written about the history of Narottam Das Thakur. One such book is Bhakti Ratnakar by Sri Narahari Chakravarti. This is a wonderful book. There is one other book, and it is called Narottama Vilas by Narahari Chakravarti Thakur. And then one book that we have referred to for today's class is called Prema Vilasa by another author, Narottam Das. Now this Narottam Das is actually a disciple of Janavama. Janamata was the wife of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So wonderful pastimes are can be read from this wonderful book, Prema Vilasa. So with your kind permission, I would like to narrate again a drop in the ocean in the life of Narottam Das Thakur. And Narottam Das Thakur, it is said according to Prema Vilasa that he had 123 disciples, and all 123 disciples actually broke open the storehouse of love of God and distributed every drop of the nectar to everyone. So those are the great disciples of Narottam Das Thakur. And
as we heard, he's the 26th Acharya in our 32 Parampara system in the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Now, he's written so many songs, Vaishnava songs, and as you know, Vaishnava songs are always a super hit. It's not like our material songs, which may fizzle out after few days and few weeks and few months, like our movie song. Now, these songs are there eternally. At least that we know, for the last 450 years, they've been super hit. Now, how do we say super hit in the sense, in the material terms I'm saying, referring to it as super hit, but these are eternal, transcendental songs. The first song that comes into our mind is when we sing the Guru Puja. Shri Guru Charana Padma. Now, this song is being sung in all the Vaishnava temples for the last 450 years since it was written. And in all our ISKCON temples, which are open 7 days a week, every morning, this song is sung. So this was written by Narottam Das Thakur. And the other song was Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. So this wonderful song also was written by Narottam Das Thakur. And if you may not have heard these two songs, you would have heard this song. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. So these are wonderful songs that were all penned down by Narottam Das Thakur. And in that particular song, it goes on to say, Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha, Ichai Kranavandan, Jaha Oite Vignanas, Abhishta Puran. So here, this part of it, what I just mentioned, it is said by Mahanandi Swami in his book that all the Vaishnavas in Vrindavan chant this part of this Hariharaya Nama, that particular song, many times. They chant that 108 times before they start chanting their Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Before they do the Hare Krishna Mahamantra rounds, they chant this part of it, Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha. So here, everyone should take the blessings of the 6 Goswamis, and if you take the blessings of the 6 Goswamis, then all the obstacles in the path of devotional service will be destroyed, and all our spiritual desires will be fulfilled. So once we chant that part of Namakrishna mantra, then every part of our spiritual desires will be fulfilled. And some of you may have heard one more wonderful song as well. It's Jayanilo Prema. Jayanilo Prema. That particular song was written by Narottam Das Thakur in separation from all the other Vaishnavas. So now we as Vaishnavas have gathered here during this holy month of Kartik, and Narottam Das Thakur has written this song, and we sing this song whenever a devotee passes away or is about to pass away. This particular song is written because this was written in the mellow of the impending separation from all the other great Vaishnavas that Narottam Das Thakur was associated with. Because at that time, Rupa Goswami left the planet, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Srinivas Acharya, Ramachandra Kaviraj, all the great associates of Narottam Das Thakur had left the planet. So in this deep separation, that Narottam Das Thakur wrote this wonderful song again 450 years ago, and it's still a hit everywhere. And since the inception of ISKCON, these songs are being sung regularly, especially this Guru Puja song is sung every day in ISKCON. So those are some of the glorious songs that are written by Narottam Das Thakur. And the seed for Narottam Das Thakur's appearance was sowed by none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left or finished his earthly pastimes and went back to Goloka Vrindavan in the year 1534. And in the same year, Narottam Das Thakur appeared. And before he appeared, many years before he appeared, there's a wonderful pastime of, as we mentioned, we have heard so much of Krishna Leela in the last few days of Damodar month. And this particular wonderful pastime is from Chaitanya Leela. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going from Ramkeli to Kethuri. Kethuri is in Bangladesh, present day Bangladesh. And when he's going there towards a place called Gadera Hata. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there to the bank of river Padmavati, he started chanting the name or calling out the name Narottam, Narottam. Now all the devotees were wondering, what is he calling the name Narottam? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is calling out the name Narottam, Narottam. This is many years before Narottam Das Thakur can appear. He's not even born. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking towards Khetri and he is calling out the name of Narottam, Narottam. Then he's leaning on Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and later on in ecstasy he fell down. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down and he lost his consciousness. He was in deep trance, and all the devotees were worried, and they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they started chanting the name Lord Jagannath. Jagannath's names were chanted in the ears of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he came back to his consciousness. And then again he started chanting the name Narottam, Narottam. Then all the devotees knew that a great personality is going to appear pretty soon. And Nityananda Prabhu asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why did you call out, my dear Lord, why did you call out Narottam Das's name? Who's this Narottam? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for this ocean of Sankirtan movement to increase and then flood and inundate the whole universe, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu wrap up their earthly pastime, he's going to invest this potency, this pure love of God to Narottam. So such was this great personality, Narottam Das Thakur. And then next day morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Padmavati river again, and all the devotees followed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, including Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And then Nityananda Prabhu said, there is something extraordinary going to happen today. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he put his foot on Padmavati river, the river started flooding. It started increasing in volume and it flooded the entire village, because the river was in ecstasy, because the Supreme Lord is entering into the river. And then the Lord offered his pure love to Padmavati river. And he said to the personification of Padmavati river, hold this pure love for a person by the name of Narottam Das, who will come here many years later. Give this love to him. And then Padmavati river, the personification of Padmavati river said, how do I know who's this Narottam Das? Many devotees will come and they are coming to take bath. How do I know that I have to give it to this person, because I don't even know who this person is? And you are saying he's going to be born appear many years later. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do not worry. As soon as he touches you, you will flood again, you will inundate again, just like you inundated now, because it's the same potency that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leaving to Narottam Das Thakur. And Padmavati river was so happy to hold on to the pure love of Lord for many years. So this was the seed that was sown for Narottam Das Thakur to appear and to become one of our greatest acharyas. And then we fast forward to a few years later, there was a great personality by the name of Krishnananda Datta, and his wife was Narayani Devi. He's also called as Majumdar in these wonderful books. So they did not have a son for many years, and they pray to Shaligram Shila by offering so many wonderful tulasi leaves every day. And in a short period of time, a miraculous voice is heard, and it said, my dear Krishnananda Datta, you are going to be father of one of the greatest personalities ever, and his name will be Narottam Das Thakur, and he will destroy all the miseries of the world. So the prophecy, the voice said that. And also his wife had a dream that an extraordinary person is appearing from Krishnananda Datta to her Narayani Devi, and she relayed this wonderful dream to her husband. And at the same time, they had called an astrologer, and the astrologer came and looked at all the charts. He analyzed all the charts, and he said, your son will be one of the greatest personalities ever, and he'll bring so much of fortune as well to you. Right after he said, the astrologer said, your son, your future son, will bring in so much of fortune to you. Right after that, that's the prophecy. So right after that, a horseman came from Jamindar. In those days there are Jamindars. And then 2,000 gold coins was given to the future father of Narottam Das Thakur. So that made the prophecy come true. So at least the second part of the prophecy, first part of the prophecy, he does not know that he is going to be the greatest Vaishnava yet. And then, he becomes one of the most brilliant students as he's growing up. Narottam Das Thakur, he's so handsome, and it is said when they were trying to give him the first grain to his mouth, he refused to eat anything. And whatever they tried to give, and he did not eat for many hours. They're trying to feed him, he did not eat. And then a Vaishnava came and he brought in Boga, prasadam that was offered to the Lord. Boga was offered to the Lord, and prasadam from the Lord was brought, and then he took that. So from this very early age, he did not eat anything that was not offered. So all the signs were there, because he was Champaka Manjari. So Champaka Manjaris are eternally 10 to 14 years old, and they serve the Sakis, and in the Krishna Lila is Champaka Manjari. So he came here for a reason, and he was a brahmachari. Narottam Das Thakur was a brahmachari throughout. And so here he's growing up, Narottam Das Thakur is growing up, and he comes to about 12 years of age, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in his dream, and he said, I have left pure love for you in Padmavati river. Tomorrow morning, go and take bath, and you will get the pure love of God. So without telling anybody, without disturbing anybody, Narottam Das Thakur wakes up early in the morning, starts chanting the holy name of the Lord, and he is running towards Padmavati river. And he offered obeisances to Padmavati river before he entered, and then he chanted the name of Gauranga, Gauranga, and he entered into the waters of Padmavati river. Immediately Padmavati river inundated, flooded, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted many years ago. And then the personification of Padmavati offered obeisances to Narottam Das Thakur, and she offered this pure love that she was holding for many years. And as she was offering, she said, do not drink the water that I'm giving you, which is the personification of pure love of Lord, because you'll become mad with love for Lord. Do not drink this. And what does Narottam Das Thakur do? He drinks it. As soon as he drank it, as soon as he drinks that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this beautiful golden complexion, as brilliant as millions of sun, it is said, as brilliant as millions of sun, and he appeared in front of Narottam Das Thakur, and he embraced him. As soon as he embraced him, he invested this pure love into the heart of Narottam Das Thakur. And as soon as he did that, Narottam Das Thakur exhibited 8 forms of ecstasy. Hairs are all standing on end, he's perspiring, he's shivering, he's dazed, he does not know what to do, tears are falling like Ganges and Yamuna from his eyes. So he exhibited all the 8 symptoms of ecstasy, and miraculous thing happened, and that was Narottam Das Thakur was dark in color as he was born. He was very handsome, but he was dark in color. He is supposed to be also, you will hear later on, that he's from the Kayastha family. Kayastha caste means it was considered to be a lower caste at that time. So here he was dark in complexion, and as soon as he drank, and as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had wrapped up his earthly pastime many years ago. Here he appears personally in Padmavati river to embrace Narottam Das Thakur, invests the potency into Narottam Das Thakur to destroy the miseries of the entire world, and he transformed Narottam Das Thakur from this dark complexion. He transformed into the most brilliant golden complexion. His color changed dramatically. He is now golden in color. And then he's jumping up and down, he's laughing, he's crying, he's singing, he's dancing, he's madly in love with God. And he's still dancing in the banks of Padmavati river. And in his house, the 12-year-old boy is missing, Narottam Das Thakur, because he did not go back to his home. So his parents were really worried, and what they do, they send a search party, and they also come. And they come, the first place they come is to the Padmavati river to see if this little boy had fallen into this river. They come, they go right past him, because they are seeing him and they're thinking he's someone else, because he's glittering molten gold in color. And he's oblivious to whatever is happening, because he's still in this trance of the Lord, because it's like, just imagine like electricity passing through somebody in a nicer way. He's in trance. They go right past him and they're searching all over the place. And then because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Narottam Das Thakur regained external consciousness, and he said to his mother, who was running everywhere around him searching for him, "My dear mother, why are you lamenting, crying? I am here." And then they hug him, and again he cannot stop chanting the names of the Lord, and he again starts chanting the name his color is different, and then they think he's gone mad. Something is wrong with him. He's possessed. He's mad. So what they do is many of them take him home, and because of the love that they had for him, he was put under house arrest. That means all the guards were guarding him because he's maybe mentally not stable. So we have to be careful. He may run into Padmavati river again and jump. So they were carefully containing him within the house, but he was going to school again with guards following him all the time. So he was under full protection. And one day he asked his mother, "My dear mother, can I go to Vrindavan?" And his mother said, "What is wrong with you? You have everything here. Why do you have to leave us and go? You're our only son. You cannot go. What has happened to you?" Then he said, "There was one golden colored boy who entered into me. Right after that, I am like this." So the mother thought he was possessed. A ghost had entered. His mother could not understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had entered. So what they do, they call an exorcist. A person who comes and wards off all these ghosts and devils. So he comes and he checks him thoroughly, and he says nothing is wrong with him, but he's got this wind disorder in his body. So the remedy is you will have to kill a fox and give the meat to him to eat, as well as you will have to rub the oil, one special Ayurvedic oil, all over the body. Then, as Prahlad Maharaj says, remedies are more miserable than the miseries themselves. So here, actually, it's not a misery at all for Narottam Das Thakur, but for his parents, they felt it was a misery. But then the remedy is more miserable. So he said, no. Narottam Das Thakur instructed his parents, that's not the right thing. You cannot kill the animal and you'll get sinful reactions. And then he said, I'm not possessed by anybody or anything. I'm not possessed by anybody or anything. All I want to do is go to Vrindavan. Again, he introduces this request of going to Vrindavan. And then his parents said, we will rather drink poison and die rather than let you go to Vrindavan. In your separation, we cannot live. So we cannot allow you to go. So then Narottam Das Thakur actually changes his strategy. He is deliberately not exhibiting the natural symptoms of love of God, because he's already got that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given, but he's holding back and he is pretending to be normal. He's not normal. He's obsessed with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the love of God, and he changes his strategy to behave in a normal way. And at that time, because he was brilliant, the king is sending an invitation to bring Narottam Das Thakur to the court to give him the highest honor at that time, because he was brilliant by himself. Even though he was confined most of the time, nobody could control his brilliance. So the king knew that he was brilliant in many aspects, and he wanted to reward him and give him a great award. So the king wanted him to come. So it's a long journey. So it might take about 10 days for Narottam Das Thakur to go and come out. So this is the first time, other than going to school, he is going to on a long journey, because it was invited by the king himself. So his father Krishnanandana Datta could not do anything. His mother Narayani Devi could not do anything. But then what they do, they send few more guards with those guards so that he does not escape, and they bring him back. So he takes leave, his mother kisses his cheeks, and he goes. And when they could not go straight from here to the kingdom in one day, because it was a long journey. And one night before they can go to the kingdom, he thought it was now or never, because he did not want to be engaged in this family life again and again, because his desire was to go to Vrindavan to serve Lokanath Swami, who will be his future spiritual master. So he decided now or never, and he started running. Without anybody knowing, he started running. And it is said in this Prema Vilasa that he started running, and he ran and ran and ran without stopping for 3 days. He had so much of blisters in his leg, and he could not run anymore. He just fell down under a tree and fell unconscious. In the meanwhile, the parents have sent a search party everywhere to track him down. They could not. They pay one guard so much money just to track him down, because the other guards could not, but he was specialist in finding a lost person. They paid him so much money, and then after a few days he came empty-handed. So his mother was devastated, heartbroken, because her son is gone. Now they don't know what happened to him. Did he fall into Padmavati river, Ganges? They don't know anything about it. In the meanwhile, Narottam Das Thakur fell unconscious underneath the tree, and a beautiful golden color Brahmin appears there with a big pot of milk. And it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came with a big pot of milk, and he said, drink this pot of milk, you will regain all the energy that you lost, and all your blisters will go away immediately. And he heard that, he saw that Brahmin, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Brahmin, but he could not do anything. He was so weak, he could not get up, and he went back to sleep. Now these great acharyas will not leave him alone. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, who also disappeared many years ago, appear in his dream again. They come in the dream. Did you know, few minutes ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Lord Krishna himself, appeared, and he gave you this pot of milk for you to drink. Drink that pot of milk and go and serve Raghunath Das Goswami in Radha Kund and take shelter of Lokanath Goswami. Do that right away. And at that time it was like a shock to him. He wakes up and then he sees the pot of milk and he drinks. Miraculously all the blisters disappear and he's opening his eyes now. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are there in front of him. The same personalities who came in his dream, who have disappeared many years ago, are there in front of him. And again they are this golden complexion, it says in Prema Vilasa, and also they have got this wonderful Brahminical thread and this beautiful tilak. They're chanting the holy names of the Lord. They've got this Tulasi Mala and they've got this beautiful curved lips, it says, and that is because of their smile. The lips are so beautifully curved and he's able to smell their scent. This transcendental esoteric scent also he's able to smell because they're there right in front of him. He falls at their feet, pays obeisances, and immediately they place their feet on Narottam Das Thakur. And mystically, there are 5 Brahmins who appear there. 5 Brahmins who appear and they say, we are going towards Vrindavan. You're trying to go to Vrindavan. Let's go to Vrindavan. So they take him on the way to Vrindavan. And then he has the desire, Narottam Das Thakur has the desire, I want to go to Varanasi. He's never been to Varanasi. Why does he want to go to Varanasi? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been to Varanasi before. And he goes to Varanasi and there he sees the old house of Sanatan Goswami who used to live there. He offers obeisances, goes to Prayag. On the way, takes bath in this Prayag and then goes towards Mathura. And as he was going towards Mathura, Jiva Goswami, who was a cousin of Rupa and Sanatan, he gets a dream because he's there. His pastimes are still going on. So he's there and he gets a dream by Rupa Goswami appears and he says, this great personality Narottam Das Thakur is coming. Please take him to Lokanath Goswami and let him get initiation. And then a group of Vaishnavas run towards Mathura to bring Narottam Das Thakur. They bring him, first temple they take him to is Radha Govind Mandir. So for those of you who have been to Radha Govind Mandir, the deities are so beautiful. He again falls unconscious when he sees the beauty of Govinda ji. And then after that, Lokanath Goswami talks to him. Lokanath Goswami comes and he says, please have this, honor this prasadam. So Lokanath Goswami is getting the Mahaprasadam from Govinda temple, Govindaji temple, and he offers it to Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur says, my dear Lord, that is going to be his future spiritual master. He said, I cannot sit down and honor prasadam with you because I am not initiated. And then Lokanath Goswami laughs and he says, you have got the greatest gift because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the pure love to you, which all the devotees are hankering for many thousands of lifetimes. And you already got that. Why do you need a spiritual master? You already got the master of the master of the master giving you all that you need. You don't need any spiritual master. Then he says, yes, I had the ultimate guru who instructed me. But what was his instruction? To take initiation from you. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, took initiation. So, I am an ignorant fool and I don't have any spiritual vision. So, I need you to be my spiritual master. And at that time, Lokanath Goswami says, okay, according to the scriptures, if anybody needs initiation, again it's a lesson for all of us, you have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for at least 1 year, so that it is firmly established in your heart, and at that time, I can give you initiation. So he puts him off for 1 year, and that is because he is one of the sannyasis. It is called as Viviktananda sannyasi. So these sannyasis, they like to preach and pray in by themselves, not in the association of others. So he's one of those Goswamis who did not have any disciples. He took a vow, I will not have any disciples. But Narottam Das Thakur took a vow that he is going to get initiated by Lokanath Das Goswami, and he had the power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with him. So he said, okay, do your chanting for 1 year and then we'll see. So he started chanting, not that he was not chanting, he started chanting day and night, it says. And then in the mornings when Lokanath Goswami asks him, how are you doing? He says, by your mercy, I'm doing well. And in the afternoon, he'll wait for Lokanath Goswami to honor his prasadam so that he can jump and honor the remnants of the prasadam, Maha prasadam of Lokanath Goswami. At other times, he used to massage his feet because he does so much of parikrama. But what he does is startling in the morning. You may have heard this particular pastime. In the morning, he goes with his coconut broom, early in the morning. He goes with his coconut broom and he cleans the urine and stool, whatever is left by his spiritual master. So, and he used to shed tears. His chest used to be wet in tears when he used to do that service, because he knew that he was getting purified. He did not even take initiation yet, but he's serving his spiritual master. Now, spiritual master Lokanath Goswami is going to the same spot every day to complete his morning activities, and he's saying it's so clean every day. And he does not know who's cleaning it. And then one day he went much earlier than when Narottam Das Thakur goes to the same forest, and he sees one dark person in the dark. He's actually glittering, but he's in the dark of the night. And he says, who's that? Who's that? And then Narottam Das Thakur had to admit that it was him. And see, our acharyas instruct us, this is a wonderful teaching for us, because many of us would like to do service, we do service, but we like the fruit of the service. We like to be recognized. We do for our Guru Maharaj, and we do it when the Guru Maharaj is seeing. But here is an example that he is just doing the service. He does not want the fruit of the service. He does not want the glory of it. He wanted to do it. Nobody is seeing it. He did not want his Guru Maharaj to see it. He just wanted to serve. So that's the instruction that our acharyas give in this particular pastime. So in due course of time, he gives Narottam Das initiation. And then one night when he was having a dream, Narottam Das Thakur had a dream, a beautiful Vaishnavi comes and she says, I want you to boil the milk for Lord Krishna. And you boil the milk for Lord Krishna and the exalted gopis. And when you do this, Lord Krishna is happy. When Lord Krishna is happy, I am happy, and everyone else is happy. So immediately he got this dream that was so wonderful for Narottam Das Thakur. He runs to Lokanath Goswami, his spiritual master, and he relays this entire dream. And Lokanath Goswami hugged him and again shed tears, because he knew the Vaishnavi who came was Srimati Radharani, and she's reinstating his service of boiling milk, because he is Champaka Manjari, and her main job in Krishna Leela is to boil milk for Srimati Radharani and for the exalted Sakhis. So here Narottam Das Thakur gets his service reinstated. So from that day onwards, he goes into trance, in deep meditation, and he boils the milk in a stove with wood. And many times what happens, the milk starts boiling, and in his trance there is no milk in front of him, there is no wood in front of him, there is no milk pot in front of him. But in his deep meditative trance, Raganuga Bhakti, he's got so much of it, and he's just offering this milk, or he's boiling this milk in trance, and one day the milk started boiling over. So he wanted none of the milk to spill over, because he wants to give all the milk to Lord Krishna through other Sakhis as well. So immediately he lifted this pot, the boiling pot, in his hand. Again, nothing is there in front of him. He removes it and he puts it down. And then he comes back to his external consciousness and he's looking at his hands. The hands are all burnt. And then he puts a cloth, and then he's walking, and in Vrindavan everybody is asking, what happened to you? Well, he's trying to give so many excuses. They know. We know what happened. This is all in your trance, because he's such an exalted devotee. So this in their Siddha Deha, they do this, and then they come back to their Sadhana Deha. Sadhana Deha is their regular body. So there are wonderful pastimes about this Siddha Dehas as well. One is Srinivasacharya. Srinivasacharya is a disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And one day he's sitting in trance in Jajigram. Anybody has been to Jajigram? This is near Mayapur, 2 hours from Mayapur. I was fortunate enough to be there a couple of years ago, and I was right underneath the same tree where this happened 450 years ago. So here he's in deep trance, Srinivasacharya, and then he's wearing white color, or it is said white color clothes at that time. And then he was in deep trance, and in his meditative trance he was in Goloka Vrindavan, and they were playing Holi with all the colors. So in his Siddha Deha he is there, and then suddenly he comes back to his external consciousness. All his white clothes have got multiple colors. So Siddha Deha, and it comes back to Sadhana Deha. And then there is a wonderful pastime about Prabhupada quotes this in this wonderful famous verse, which is the 23rd verse of the 5th chapter of the 7th canto. Most of you know this verse, but you may not remember the verse. This is the famous verse where Prahlad Maharaj is giving us the instructions on the 9 forms of devotional service. Shravanam Kirtanam. That particular verse is one of the longest purports in Srimad Bhagavatam. I won't say it's the longest purport in Srimad Bhagavatam. It goes to multiple pages. And in the section where Prabhupada is giving more explanation on Archanam, this wonderful pastime is there. Again, how one goes from Siddha Deha to Sadhana Deha. So here in this pastime, Prabhupada is quoting a story from Brahma Vaivarta Puran. It's a very wonderful story. Similar to this. So there is a very, very poor Brahmin. He does not have any money. So he goes to a temple and he hears a discourse by a great Acharya. And that Acharya says, you can do Manasa Puja. You can do puja in your mind, and it's very effective. You don't have to have any money, but offer to the Lord the greatest diamonds, the greatest plates that you can have offered. So you can go to the temple and do regular Vaidhi Bhakti, but also you can do this Manasa Puja. So in his mind, he starts doing this wonderful, wonderful worship to the Lord. He visualizes as though he's going to Ganges bringing the water, Yamuna bringing the water, Godavari bringing the water. He actually takes bath in Godavari first, and then he visualizes bringing the water in golden pot, silver pot, and then his Arati paraphernalia is all made of diamonds. He's just doing mind puja in his mind, and he's offering it to the Lord. He does this every day. One day he makes sweet rice, wonderful sweet rice mixed with ghee, and he puts it in a diamond studded container, and he is about to offer it to the Lord, all in the mind. And immediately he thinks, oh, I think this sweet rice is very hot for the Lord. Let me check it. He puts his finger in. This is from Vaivarta Puran, Brahma Vaivarta Puran. He puts his finger in, and then he felt it was so hot. Again, nothing is there. He felt it was so hot, and he takes it, and he, does like this, as though it was very hot. He felt it was hot. And in Vaikunta, Lord Vishnu started to smile. And Lakshmi Devi next to Lord Vishnu said, my dear Lord, why are you smiling? And then immediately Lord Vishnu sent the Vishnu Dutas, go get him. That's it. So he's going to be my eternal associate. So that is the glory of this Raganuga Bhakti, where there is in the Siddha Deha, where we can do this Manasa Puja. It is authorized. Prabhupada in the purport says, it is authorized to do this Manasa Puja. And he quotes Padma Puran as well. So many wonderful other pastimes. Once Raghunath Das Goswami, he's one of the 6 Goswamis. So he had one stomach disorder. Now Raghunath Das Goswami was one of the richest person to live, and he renounced everything, and every day he used to drink little bit of buttermilk. And he had the stomach disorder. Now all the disciples and Vrindavan residents came, and they called in an Ayurvedic doctor. And they called him and they said, please take care of Raghunath Das Goswami. He's got a stomach disorder. And then this person gives some Ayurvedic medicine. This was about 450 years ago. Right? He gives Ayurvedic medicine, and he said, this disorder is because he ate too much sweet rice made with ghee. So all the close companions of Raghunath Das Goswami were about to beat him and chase him. You are a fake doctor. They were up because they know what he is eating. He's not eating anything. He's just drinking little bit of buttermilk. How can he eat all this sweet rice just because he had a stomach disorder? You can't say that we know what he's drinking. They were about to beat him. And then they chased him. You're a useless doctor. They said so many good things about you. Get out of here. They still took that medicine because that is for stomach disorder. They forgot what he said, what was the cause of it. They took this medicine to Raghunath Das Goswami and they said, yeah, please take this, my lord, you will be cured. But we didn't like the way he said. He said that you ate too much of sweet rice and ghee and everything. And then Raghunath Das Goswami put his head down. And then he said again in his, in his trance, he was offered so much of sweet rice and ghee and he overate that. So these are all wonderful Siddha Dehas where they really meditate, they are in this trance and it is actually brought to this material world. So one more pastime before we close this, is that okay? Are we too late? It's 8:30? Okay, so maybe in 2 minutes we can wrap this up. So one last pastime is that about this meditative part of it. There was the Srinivas Acharya that we heard sometime back. So Srinivas Acharya, one day he was in deep meditation and he got stuck there for 3 days. He could not come back to his sadhana deha. So he's in this trance and they take some cotton and they put near his nose. No breathing at all. So they thought he finished his earthly pastimes and then they called all his disciples, nearby disciples, and there's one great disciple, his name is Ramachandra Kaviraj. They said, please come. They could not locate him. Finally, he came after 3 days. That means 6 days is past that he's sitting like this. No breathing, nothing. Then they tell Ramachandra Kaviraj, I think he's wrapped his earthly pastime, so we need to do all the final rites. So Srinivas Acharya's wife is crying. So Ramachandra Kaviraj said, don't cry. Let me find out what's going on. So he goes, sits next to him. And he said, I'm going to go into the trance and see where he is, what pastime is he in. He goes and sits, this again in this Prema Vilasa book. So he goes into deep trance, and then in this deep trance, this Srinivas Acharya is Mani Manjari. He's also one of the Manjaris. And Ramachandra Kaviraj is Karuna Manjari. Both of them are Manjaris. Now both of them are eternal associates of the Lord. So both of them, in the trance, they meet each other. So Ramachandra Kaviraj asks, what happened to you? Why are you not coming back to your body? Your wife is crying. They thought you left the body. Then he says, oh, Srimati Radharani, when she was having a wonderful sporting activity in Yamuna, she lost her nose ring. And all the Sakhis are all searching for the nose ring under Yamuna. And me being Manjari, how can I not help them? So I'm also searching for the last 3 days. And without finding the ring, I can't come back to my body. That's why I'm here. Then Ramachandra Kaviraj, who's Karuna Manjari, said, you know what, I have to help you because you are my spiritual master. How can I not help you? So he also dives into Yamuna river and all of them are searching for this nose ring of Srimati Radharani. And who finds it? Karuna Manjari, Ramachandra Kaviraj, who is the disciple of Srinivas Acharya. He finds that nose ring. And again, this is a lesson for us. He does not give directly to Srimati Radharani. See, I found. Just like we heard some time back that he cleaned all the urine and everything. He didn't want to get any credit for it. Here it goes to the proper channel, like our work. You do something, you go to your manager. Your manager will go to the manager, just like we heard from other pastimes, right? You go through proper channel. So here, Karuna Manjari gives it to Mani Manjari. And Mani Manjari's guru is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And he gives it to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami gives it to Lalita. And Lalita gives it to Vishaka and then Srimati Radharani. So it goes through the proper channel. And just to give them a reward, Srimati Radharani is so happy that her nose ring was found. So she takes some of the betel nut she was eating and some that is not eaten. She packs all this and she gives it to Mani Manjari, Srinivas Acharya. And so now that the job is done, they found the nose ring collectively and they decided to come back to their body. So both of them are sitting like this for several hours and one for 6 days and Ramachandra Kaviraj also for many hours. And both of them suddenly wake up as though they got a shock. And everybody is so happy that they came back to their consciousness, and then there is a transcendental smell that is coming. Fragrance. They don't know what is going on. There was no transcendental fragrance up till that point in time. Suddenly this fragrance is coming. Then they see in the small bag, then this tambula is there. Betel nut is there. So it's a miraculous pastime how this betel nut was transported. Deha, in the Siddha Deha to Sadhana Deha, and it came from the spiritual world to material world. So again, keeping the time in mind, we'll wrap this up. So that is one of the greatest acharyas in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai, Gaud Premanande, Hare Krishna.
श्री राधा दामोदर की
English meaning. Yeah, meaning.